everybody, this is Maria with the Wreath Machine and the Wreath Lock coming to you tonight from my craft room. Please excuse the glitter as the unicorn exploded in here earlier. But I have a special tutorial for you tonight for some tabletop decor for your home, or you could sell it at a craft show. So we're going to do that tonight. I created a couple this past weekend, but they were actually on a candle holder instead of what we're going to use tonight. So what I actually have here is a trivet. It's sold at Hobby Lobby in the fall section. It's a couple inches tall, and I had no idea what it was when I went and grabbed it, but I said, man, that sure would make a good centerpiece base. I also have a circle of foam that I purchased from Dollar Tree. So what I did was I sprayed it copper to blend it so that when I add my florals to it, or whatever you want to call them, it all blends together, because I don't want a white piece of foam shining through in my project. And what's going to happen is we're going to add this big pumpkin, which is also from Dollar Tree, on top of everything, and glue it all down. So let me adjust a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is use these bush picks from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna do copper, brown, and gold. Trust me, it'll look cute. They're gonna go into this foam piece, and then I'm gonna make some bow decor for the top of a pumpkin. So this may take about an hour, and I'm also going to give some updates on the Wreath Lock. So if you don't know, the Wreath Lock is my invention. It's the first anti-theft wreath hook ever created. So I'm going to give some updates on that, because periodically I talk about the Wreath Lock. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I left the base the color it came in. That way you can see what it looks like if you want to find it at Hobby Lobby. I did find this at one Hobby Lobby, not my usual. So you may have to ask them for the fall trivet and see if they can locate it for you. It might be online also. But it's a good base, because you can put this on your table and still have room underneath to put other things like forks and utensils and napkins and stuff like that. Or you could just put it on your mantle or bar area, but at least it's up off the table to where it's not totally blocking everything. So I got my glue gun ready over here. And what I'm going to do is try and center this. I'm going to eye it. I'm going to add my glue. And if you get this and you do the project, I mean, feel free to paint the base, because later I'm probably going to go out into the garage and spray paint it copper to match the foam piece, but I'm not going to do that right now. Let me go ahead and don't burn your fingers. So that's good enough for me, because this is going to be underneath the foliage, under the pumpkin. So it's not like it's just going to be out there. So I'm going to go around the edges with some hot glue just to make sure it's fastened down. Okay, I'm done with that. So next I'm going to go ahead and actually, you know what? Yeah, let me do that. Some of the glitter off. Hopefully I'll be able to see what I'm doing after I put the pumpkin on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glue to the bottom of the foam pumpkin, more or less in the center. It's hard to do this one-handed, y'all. In the center, a little around the edges, but no wider than the circle that I'm placing it on. What is the problem with my glue gun? Of course it would happen when I'm recording. Yeah, we're gonna carry on. Oh Lord. I need my glue gun breaking right now. He's doing voodoo on me. So I'm gonna place it. I'm gonna look, make sure it's centered the best that I can. Turn it around a little. Okay. Later I'm gonna go back and add glue under the gaps to make sure that it stays in place, okay? So what I do is I look at the foam, I pick my pick inside the foam, I pull it back out, and then I put glue on the tip of the greenery, and then I stick it back in the hole so that I don't burn my hand. And I don't leave a lot on the tip. I just do about half, quarter inch. But all I'm gonna do is go around in a circle and start placing. So I'm probably gonna fast forward at this point. And I'm just gonna continue to rotate my pumpkin. And so I evenly start placing colors around the pumpkin, and then I'll go back with the next color, and I'll keep doing the same thing. So normally while I'm doing all this repetitive stuff, I end up talking to y'all and giving y'all updates and tell you about the Wreath Lock and all the developments that are going on. So yeah, let me do that. So I'm going to suggest if you watch this, you watch it when you're about to go to sleep, you're at the end of the day, and you're trying to wind down. So these little picks are from Dollar Tree, but I had to buy about 40 of them when I went there. And then you never know how many you're going to need. You're kind of just winging it. So they, unbeknownst to me, the price has actually increased from $1 to $1.75 now. So these picks are almost as much as Hobby Lobby's picks for Christmas at 50% off. Actually, they're more than that. I can get some of their picks for 99 cents. But I didn't see any colors like this, so I take the hit when necessary. If I have to cut more picks to add, I will. Don't worry. I have 500 sitting on the side. But yeah, so let me say God is good. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I recently reached out to a major wreath influencer because I felt like I wasn't getting a lot of traction trying to do things on my own. You know what I mean? Sorry about the noise, y'all. I try to reach out to different people to see if they wanted to team up, partner up with me to do things with and for the Wreath Lock. And like I said, the Wreath Lock's my invention. It's my baby. I'm highly protective of it. I'm not very trusting. Basically, I just want to make sure things go the right way. So, went to a wreath convention last month. Got to tell a couple hundred people about the Wreath Lock. And that's where I got my first sense of the product, its purpose being real. Because people ask when, if, do you have any flyers? Are you going to do any wholesale? So I felt a positive sense of feedback. Because up till now, up till that point, I hadn't had confirmation. And it is about to storm outside, y'all. So if y'all hear lightning and thunder, the power goes out, I'm sorry, because I don't have no control over that part. Any control over that. So I got to tell some fellow wreath makers and crafters about the Wreath Lock and essentially explain what it is, who it's for, how it's used, and it's for everybody essentially that makes wreaths and buys wreaths. Okay. So got positive feedback. People wanted to be able to sell it to their clients wholesale. I put it out for a little bit wholesale, but not very long. Just wanted to get a sense of the need or want. So took it off wholesale, carried on. Right before then, I had a interview with InventRight TV. So InventRight's been around like 26 years. They help inventors, coach them with their inventions so that they can learn how to get their product license. Or there's a program called Gateway, which I decided to sign up for. And they help you, market your product to companies for potential licensing. So I went ahead and signed up for that program. And that's what I've been kind of working on here and there. You get a project manager, you know, do a little every week. So we're making progress. And, you know, in the meantime, I'm trying to develop the product further, get it out to people, talk about it in the world, because it is a one-of-a-kind product. It is the only one of its kind. You know, the wreath industry is kind of stagnant. There's not a whole lot of new technology. If there is, I don't know. Most people like problem-solving products. So you have a product, solves a problem. Have a product, prevents the theft of a wreath or door decor, mainly. Also keeps your wreaths from blowing off and falling off, which you say, I live in the country, I don't have neighbors. Okay, guess what the country normally is notorious for? High winds. Because I used to, a few years ago, live in the country. And let me tell you, when there's a storm, everything wants to blow away, right? So it's a multi-purpose, versatile tool. It is very simply designed, but it serves a big purpose. Basically, you buy a wreath, you want to keep it. You don't want someone walking up and taking off with your wreath. Because let me tell you, people don't care about porch cameras anymore. They could care less. They're going to cover their face, they're going to walk up, and they're going to take your wreath. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So if you are interested in the Wreath Lock, it is on Etsy. You just type in Wreath Lock, WREATH LOCK. I'll put a link to it below. So far, I've been able to put it out in engraved designs with my laser that I had to purchase to do this. And I also hand paint them now myself at the moment. Because I want to give people a choice of colors to match their door, because I was advised people don't want anything shiny on their door. Some people don't care. Some people do. Okay, well, I'll paint them. Takes more time, takes more money. Have to roll it into the price, and that's fine. If people want it, they'll buy it. And this past weekend at the artisan market that I went to, I found out people like everything. Designs, plain, painted, everything. So it doesn't hurt to be versatile and offer as many options as possible. So let me show you with the tutorial. I have these like bush looking picks, and I have like these leaf looking picks. So I'm using both in copper, brown, and gold. So I just wanted to show you. So Dollar Tree has them all. You just gotta kind of look for them. And I had to go to multiple stores to find them. Where I work, out in the country, they have a Dollar Tree. I went there. Then I went to a couple other places, and I was able to scrape up enough, but I don't know how many they're gonna have and for how long. So let's say if you want to do this project, just try your best to try and find them, because I don't know how long they're gonna have them, y'all. And if they see this tutorial or someone else's tutorial that may have the same products used, I don't know how long they're gonna last. So see how we're building up the base? I know you probably can't see the whole thing, but essentially I'm just building a bush base. So I got a leaf here, leaf here. So I'm just gonna try and spread my picks around as much as possible, and it is kind of hard to see this time of the day in the room. So yeah, I'm just developing the product. There's something else I need to add to the product line, and I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. Let me add this last leaf over here. So what I'm doing is I'm building up the piece of foam until you can, for the most part, not see the base of the foam any longer without putting too much on it and making it look messy, because I don't want to do that, okay? And I'm putting gold because there's gold in the stem of the pumpkin, and it's also, all these colors are pretty neutral, I guess. So what I'm going to do real quick before I add any more is put some glue under my pumpkin. Sorry about the scraping. Because I want it to set a little more before I add a bunch more of the greenery. And then I can't see where my pumpkin bottom is, and then everything starts going all crazy. So I'm going to add some gold picks while I'm telling you about the rest of the Wreath Lock. Yeah. So with the Wreath Lock, you know, I was wanting to reach out to a wreath influencer to ask if they wanted to partner up, team up with me to get the Wreath Lock essentially out into the world. And I prayed about it a lot, and I just held out for a minute because I had a sense of uncertainty, and I needed to stop and rethink what I was doing. I was trying to hurry too fast. I wasn't totally considering everything that I was doing and how it could potentially affect my product. And I just had to stop. So if you ever get in that situation where you get overexcited, you start rushing to do things, and you stop realizing what's important. What's important is the product. It's livelihood, its purpose, what it does, and who it helps. So I had to stop and rethink things. I had to pray about it for a while, because I pray about things a lot, y'all. That is most important to me, that I reach out to God for guidance. Because honestly, He gave me this product. He gave me the invention. I carried it out, but He gave me the idea. 1,000,000%. Put my hand on the Bible to that, y'all. I'm not an engineer. I actually worked for the government until this past Friday. I hit 20 years last month. I worked for the government until this past Friday. I was clerical. I've done clerical on and off for about 20 years, plus military. I've never been an engineer, never claimed to be an engineer, done nothing involving engineering, but I do know a good product potential when I see it. Okay? So I knew the Wreath Lock was given to me, and it's my responsibility to be a caretaker for it and to make sure that it gets out into the world to help people as much as possible with no issues. At least what I can control. So what I did was one day, literally last week, sent an email to a pretty big wreath influencer. I think she's one of the biggest influencers on the internet. And she's down to earth. She's very humble. She's very kind. I mean, I watched her when I first came out in 18 doing my wreaths. She was one of the people I looked at her tutorials. And, you know, I went off in my own direction. So I kind of lost track of her over time. And then, like I said, I pray about things, and you wait. You have to wait. You have to listen. You have to listen for when to act. You have to listen for what to do. So I waited. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait. Because Invent is in the works. That's still being worked on. So I'm like, well, I got time, right? Pray about it. Wait for a response. And if you're in tune, you'll know when you get your response. So what I did was, this influencer that I thought, there's no way this is going to happen, possibly. But when it pops in your head and God's telling you to do it, you probably better do it. Because you don't know what could be going on the other side of that message that He's giving you. You don't know what's going on with the person that you're going to reach out to. So I sent an email to the person's email address. So, you know, they got a team, right? Because they're pretty big. If I had a million people on Facebook and 400,000 on YouTube, that's pretty freaking big. I mean, I wish to be there one day. I mean, that's not everything, but that's pretty good. That means people trust you and believe in and are interested in what you're doing, right? All right, y'all. So I think I'm pretty close to having her full. I'm going to tell you the rest of the story. I'm running out of room. So I sent the email Wednesday afternoon. I'm like, we'll see what happens. So Wednesday afternoon, I said, hey, this is Maria. I'm with the Wreath Meshine. This is my product, the Wreath Lock. Sent some videos. The usual marketing like someone would normally do, right? Waited. I'm like, her team will probably screen it and throw it out. So I'm not really counting on it going through. That's just normal human tendency. You know, I normally expect nothing. And if I get something, I'm like jumping around like a cheerleader, right? So I let it go. Woke up the next morning, last Thursday morning. Got to work, doing my thing. I don't even think it was 8 a.m. Central Time. Got an email directly from that influencer. And I almost fell out of my seat at work. Let me tell you how happy I was. Like disbelief, y'all. So what I'm doing right now, excuse me. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to add a couple little leaves to the top just to give it a little extra something. Let me see if I have some brown. We got some brown leaves. So always have extra, y'all, because you never know when you're going to need it. Let's see how these look first. I think that's okay. Go ahead and glue them in. I have a little gap under my stem here. Let me throw some glue in there. So I got a response. And so at this point, there's some slight developments going on. I did the part I was asked to do. So now I'm waiting on them to do their part, which is going to take time because they're on vacation and all that stuff. And that is fine with me. I will wait as long as it takes. So now I'm going to take this ribbon. And it is a contrast. It is gold with navy. And it is like 3/4 of an inch, 7/8 of an inch wide. So it is, yeah, 5/8 inch by 10 yards polyester ribbon. It's R as in Robert, G as in Gary, F as in Frank, 1393W as in Walter, A as in Alpha. What I'm going to do is make a small bow to add to the top. And y'all, just a note, I don't make things to blend in with everybody. So, just a heads up, that's not me. I am non-traditional in every way, shape, and form. I do things, I make things that you probably have never seen before. So what I'm going to do is, let me see here. I'm measuring because I'm actually going to add tails that come over the edges, waterfall over the edges of the pumpkin, okay? So that's my first thing. So first I'm going to make my bow. I'm going to do 4-inch loops. I make things different, y'all. I don't like blending in. From my product to my designs, I want people to have things that no one else has, okay? I do these tutorials to give people something different to do. Mostly because I know they're gonna be different. I don't know if someone has this on the internet or not. I know they're messing with these pumpkins and doing stuff, but honestly, I made what I made, and I'm pretty sure no one has this design. And obviously after this video, they will. But I'm not gonna copy someone else's work because I don't want to do that. That's not me. If you want to do that, that's fine and dandy. I'm just different. I don't want to copy other people. God gave me a brain, and I'm gonna come up with stuff how I want to do it. So this is the other tail, and I'm gonna kind of try and match them. Make it a little longer, just so I know I'm not short. Okay. Grab a zip tie. This is gonna be a little skinny bow, but that's okay. You know what? I'm gonna do it in black. Because it's dark ribbon, the black won't show as much. I like the white. So I'm gonna lift it out, put one finger on each side of the bow holder. Move this out the way. So I hope y'all are having a good Labor Day weekend. Had a craft show all weekend. My mom helped me. Thank you, Mom. Couldn't do it without her. Husband has to work. He's got one of them jobs where he works the DuPont schedule. And of course, every time I have something going on, he has to go back to work, which is not his fault. But my mom helped me. She's getting older, but she's still young at heart. And she definitely helped me. So thank you, Mom. Okay, so what I'm doing initially here, excuse me, is placing the bow where the stem of the pumpkin is. So I'm going to finish shaping my bow. And what I use to place my bows is, since it's foam, the pumpkin, I use these, I don't know if they're called eye pins or floral pin. I don't know what they are, but they're on Amazon. Floral pins. Sorry, y'all. I don't know. I've had them for a while. This is what I use to push the bow down into the foam, into the glue, to keep it in place. Okay? Because the last thing I want to do is have it come off after I sell it. And then I use these mini needles, which I think I got them from Hobby Lobby, but they're like 3/4 of the size of a regular needle. Because I don't think I need a whole big needle. I don't want to waste my needles like that. So I'm going to bring the pumpkin over here. I'm going to find a good spot where it nestles in and doesn't give me a lot of, my light's flickering, doesn't give me a lot of resistance, okay? And then I'm gonna zhuzh everything, and I like to try and get the ribbon going down the crease in the pumpkin. So there's one there and there's one here, okay? So now I'm gonna glue my bow in place. Like I said, y'all, most of these things you can get from Dollar Tree. Foam pumpkins you can probably get a lot of places, but Dollar Tree has them. $7. The picks are Dollar Tree also. While they have them, these pins and the, excuse me, ow, pins, ow. Yeah, be careful, y'all. Use a silicone thumb thing if you can, so you don't get burned, which we all get burned. Let me place another, since I'm numb. Let me go ahead and place another one of these. You can use regular needles if you want to, if that's what you have. You don't have to go buy this other stuff. But that's just what I like to do. So I'm going to curl the bottom of the tail before I bring it out. Because I want to have it come off the pumpkin a little bit. And then, let me see, am I on the right? Yeah, I'll just do it right here. You can place it how you want to. See, it's already starting to take shape. So slightly curl my tail, and then I'm gonna find a resting spot for it at the bottom. You might want to put your fingers underneath, and then push in a little. I don't want it totally resting on the pumpkin. I want it to come off a little bit, okay? So, sorry y'all, that hurt. So, put fingers underneath, push in a little. You don't have to push in that much, but just leave a little gap when you push in, okay? Because I think it looks cool when it's coming off a little bit, the pumpkin. And then we'll put a little glue on the back. Straighten out the tail, push it in, and then I'm going to grab one of those little needles and push it in up under where the glue is under the ribbon, okay? And you can add more glue later, and then I'm going to kind of bend the tail out a little, okay? Let's do it again. And yeah, I'm going to add more than 2. Curve it out, find a spot, leave a little slack. I don't want it squeezing on the pumpkin. I want it to be a little loose. I want it to have a little slack because I don't want it to look super tight. You know what I mean? So anyway, about the wreath lock, I'm letting God shape everything, letting nature take its course. Eventbrite's working on it. Waiting for the influencer to give me the next move. See y'all? I love it. Okay. So hold up, wait a minute. We can't just do 2 sides of the pumpkin, right? So we're gonna add some more tails. So you can add as many edges and sides as you want, but I'm just gonna do 2 more on the opposite side, okay? I'm gonna grab my ribbon. Please, 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 make sure you have enough ribbon before you start this, because the last thing you wanna do is run out in the middle of the project. Just a warning. I'm sure y'all know that, but just in case. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna remove my little needle thing for a minute because my tail is gonna go up underneath. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some glue. I'm gonna place it underneath. I'm gonna push down with the other piece of ribbon. I'm gonna go ahead, while that's setting, measure a little again. Okay, and I'm gonna re-put a little needle where the 2 pieces of ribbon are joined together. This is so hard. Maybe not. However you gotta do it, y'all. Oh, my things fight me so much. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that for now. So, measure, bring it over, cut it off. Okay, so see, little slack, little slack, little slack, not a lot. You don't want a big old wonky hangy thing. You just want a little bit of slack, just so that it catches the eye. Okay, and if I don't quit burning myself. Okay, and when I put that there, get another little needle without stabbing myself, and I stab it up inside the ribbon, inside the pumpkin, whatever lets me put it in there. I'm trying, y'all. Oh, it's not sharp, no wonder. There we go. Crispy, crunchy foam. And don't forget to dovetail the end of your tail. Then I'm gonna add, I think I would do right here, one more piece. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna anchor it. Oop. Gonna put a pointy tip on this. This is gonna be a little hard. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, I'm bringing the loop underneath the stem so that it covers up my piece of ribbon when I put it down inside where the stem is, okay? Because I want to anchor it in there so that it's not just like sticking out into oblivion, okay? So I'm gonna do my little measuring again, and then let's see. Okay, please be careful not to burn yourself doing this. Of course, I might, so just a heads up. A little gap. And what I'm gonna do right here, get another little needle that actually has a point on it. Go down inside the loop and the piece of ribbon. Okay. Sorry, y'all. This is a smaller scaled project, but I thought it was so cute that I just wanted to share it with y'all. And I hope y'all get to do it. And if you do something like it, can you share a picture with us on here? Because I'd like to know y'all are doing some of the tutorials that I'm showing y'all. One of my friends came to the craft show, and she bought one that I made with a white pumpkin with some navy velvet ribbon that had gold edges to it. And she's like, that's my colors. And I'm like, yeah, girl, see, there's something for everybody. You just gotta be patient, y'all. There's a wreath for everybody. There's a something that you make is for everybody. Might take a while to sell it. That's okay. Sometimes it takes time, y'all. Okay. Whew, a lot of glitter. So this is essentially what it is. This is what it looks like. You can add more tails, which I might, but I like the 4 tails like that. I think it looks cool. So this is what it looks like. Just make sure, like I said, that you have enough ribbon, okay? So essentially we're done. Yay! So it's an orange pumpkin with gold, brown, and copper greenery from the Dollar Tree. Pumpkins from the Dollar Tree is like $7. $7 plus 20 something dollars. Plus the ribbon, which obviously it always varies on the price. And the little leaves up here are also Dollar Tree. And then you have, I think it's like $8 or $9 for this. Was 40 off. So it was like $8.99, I think, for this trivet in the fall department. So you could probably charge $50 to $60 for this based on your time. Or keep it for yourself. Put it as your centerpiece on your table. But I love them, y'all. I think they're cool. So let me finish telling you real quick about my product, since there's probably a lot of y'all that have never seen me before, and I want to let you know. Sorry about the thunder. There's probably a lot of you that don't know about the invention that I came up with. It's called the Wreath Lock. Like I said, it's the first anti-theft wreath hook / wreath protector. It keeps wreaths from blowing off, falling off, and then walking off your door. So it is stainless steel, so it's weather resistant, rust resistant. It comes in plain steel engraved front or painted front. I don't do the top part with the paint because I don't want it to rub off on your door frame, okay? So when you get it, please don't expect the whole thing to be dipped in paint. It's just the front face. So is the engraving. So, you know, I took people's suggestions into consideration, and a lot of them said people don't want shiny things on their door hanging, and some people don't care, but I went ahead and painted them because I try to take people's suggestions into consideration. But keep in mind, it is just me doing this product, and I'm the one that has to do all the engraving, all the painting, etc., etc. So what you do is, on a wireframe wreath, okay, let me get one. I'm gonna show you. I'd rather show you. I do have tutorials on the internet that show you how to use this product. So if you look up Wreath Lock on YouTube or go to my webpage, thewreathmeshine.com, it's there. So you go, you pull it, you flip it upside down first. You put it through the crossbar on your wreath as centered as possible. Once you get it in, there is no exit. So all you're going to do is take this hook and place it over your door like a regular wreath hook. Once you close the door, you cannot regularly get the wreath off of the door, which deters theft. It makes it harder for people to steal your wreath. I mean, if they want to come up with a chainsaw, wire cutters, whatever, that's one thing. But I highly doubt they're going to have that on them when they try and steal your wreath. So at least you know there's a deterrent in place. So right now, as of today, these are good for like these kind of wreaths with the wire frame, thick or thin, and you can use them with swags because swags have a loop at the top, and all you got to do is put the loop through the hook or the hook through the loop. The swags are a little less resistant to theft because it's just a loop made out of a little bit of wire. So I cannot really, there's nothing I can do about that, but you could still use this instead of a J-hook. It's still going to help you more, okay? Also, with the Wreath Lock, I have a pending development that is in progress. So I am creating or having made a adapter for this hook. What it's going to do is it's going to work with the grapevine wreaths. So what you're going to do is you take a chunk of the grapevine, you pass the adapter through the grapevine, and then the adapter sits in here, and then the grapevine hangs off the adapter. So it's a little more protection for your grapevines also. So it's, like I said, it's better than a J-hook and nothing at all. So the whole point is to deter theft and to prevent your wreaths from blowing off, falling off, or walking off. And I know people say, well, I don't have any neighbors, I live in the country. Well, guess what? I know in the country for sure there's winds and rain and storms, and you leave to work and you come back, and this may have happened to you, your wreath ends up on the ground and your dog chews it up, or it ends up in a puddle in the rain on the ground. Well, if you use this, it keeps your wreath on the door. So you spend a little to get this hook. You don't have to worry about that happening. But like I said, it's a deterrent. If somebody wants to destroy the wreath and take it off the door, that may happen, but at least you know there's something in place to help prevent that. So if you like one of these in colors, engraved, or plain, just go to Etsy and type in Wreath Lock. There's a couple different postings for it because there's the different versions of it. Feel free to look at them. But I am going to highly suggest, if you would like one, to please get one sooner than later, only because I am only one person. I have to place orders to get these constructed and manufactured. It takes a few days to weeks, and I want everyone to be able to have one for the holidays. The other thing these are good for and I don't know if you've thought about it yet, you may not have heard about it till now, is if you live in an apartment, a townhome, a condo, you live in a senior living facility, retirement home, any kind of senior apartment, any kind of apartment where you have a lot of neighbors and you just want to better protect your door decor, these are great for that also. And another thing is I also created 24-inch hooks that are like 2 of these for businesses and doors on extra large doors or extra tall doors on homes. If you feel like you need that, please measure your door 24 inches from the top. And if you need that, just look up Wreath Lock on Etsy and feel free to get one of those. Right now they're only in plain stainless steel, but you will have some protection. You can hang wreaths on your businesses now and hopefully not have to worry about them being stolen. The hook works best with wire framed wreaths because the hook, like you saw, is embedded inside the wreath. So it's harder for them to take it off the hook, if at all. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions about the Wreath Lock, you can drop them in the comment box below. Other than that, I will be coming on more often, posting more tutorials because I am now retired from the government. I did leave my job last Friday. I just chose to do so because I just felt it was time. So I will have more time to do more tutorials, so y'all will be seeing me a lot more. But I just want to say thank you for watching. Have a great holiday weekend. Stay safe, and I appreciate your support in purchasing the Wreath Lock, and any further developments that happen, I will be posting them online. Ooh, nice storm. So when the adapter comes out, and I know a lot of people have been waiting on it, I will be posting it on Etsy for sale. I will make a post. I'll probably make a tutorial to show y'all how to use it. So never fear, Mighty Mouse is here. So y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.